we have the gentleman that literally changed the industry of music in Uganda, Shanks Vivie'D.
Yeah, we were here before the internet, basically.
Yeah. I don't want to be disrespectful to Jose and his effort, but I can tell you guys for a fact, Shanks Vivie'D is the reason Jose Chameleon's music career exists to this day. He was actually a backup singer to you, Shanks.
In 1996 it was. He asked me to help him his career develop, and we went and saw his parents.
Wow.
We spoke about this with his parents. It's business. When it's booming, it's booming.
Yeah. I sang Bundu for so many years. The rapping part was actually Shanks Vivie'D.
You want the remedy for me? I tell you the remedy for me brain. Can you want the painkiller? When I'm in pain, I'll take a bus, I'll take a train. I'll take a plane just to find you wherever you may be. Yeah. For me, in need of you, it's like the flower is the rain. Do it for you. Girl, I'm still waiting. Hurry up and come, me no one I wait in vain. Do it. You are the woman of my dreams. It's a special time for me to cherish you, my baby. Can't live without you. Always thinking about you. Me don't like to miss you. I like the way you taste me. For you alone plays me. Listen to the play.
My good. You shared stage with Lucky Dube, Chakabema and Pliers, Yvonne Chakitaki, Brenda Fassi, The Late, Buju Banton, Maxi Priest, Wayne Wanda, DeMarco, Kidze Powers, Shabaranks, Shaggy, Madilu System. What was it like performing along this big legend?
To be honest,
you left Uganda and then you moved to United Kingdom, UK. Would you probably regret the move to UK?
Maybe if I stayed, I would have been dead by now.
Welcome to the Hard Lock podcast show, where we dive deep, let stories flow. Interviews, insights, news of the week. Hot topics, every word's unique. Tune in, lock in, get the full scope. Stories that inspire us and provoke. It's Hard Lock, where the truth gets told. So sit back, let's break the mold.
Hey, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching this, whichever time frame. You're most welcome. My name is Joshua, and this is the Hard Lock podcast. We bring you to you the best. We tell stories of people here. Thank you so much for watching the show. And like I've been advertising the entire week, we have the gentleman that literally changed the industry of music in Uganda, and most of your big stars, they attribute within radio and music, they attribute their name to this guy. And I'm very honored, extremely excited to introduce to you my guest today. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the guy himself, Shanks Vivie'D.
Yeah.
Man, how are you, man?
I'm good.
You're welcome on the show.
Thank you.
I hope everyone can see, I was telling him before we started recording it that I'm excited as a child right now. I'm super excited to have you here on the show.
Pleasure.
Yep.
Pleasure to be mine.
I hope we have a fantastic discussion.
To be here, yeah.
Cool.
Good to talk about things. Hello, everyone. It's good
the
to be here.
camera will be that, mine will be this. So please say hi to the people, man.
Hello, everyone watching. Thanks for being here. I'm Shanks Vivie'D, Africa's dancehall king, and it's nice to be here. Let's have some fun.
Amazing. Now, for those who don't know, Shanks Vivie'D is born Baguma Baijuka on 23rd of March, 1973. Making 51 years. But if you look at him, you think he's 41. I've been disputing this with him. He's a Ugandan music legend, an icon, and considered the godfather of dancehall, rap, and the radio business as well. Now, Shanks has composed and featured in major hits over the years, and such as, I failed to pronounce this at some point,
Kakokolo.
Kakokolo.
Yeah.
Kakokolo, and then Bundu, featuring Steve Jin. Now, this is very interesting. Steve Jin of Feno Records now. Back in the days, they had a studio, and together they formed a boy band, which we'll talk about later on here. And of course, one of the also biggest projects he works on was Dudu, featuring Mose, The Late, and Wizo Manizo. So the other part of the rap, and I think in the podcast, I'm just gonna give a small cut where he particularly came in to sing his part. I'll just play it a little bit for the people to know who this guy is. So thank you so much and welcome on the show once again.
Thank you.
So apparently, one of the things is that you actually picked your name from a legend. You loved Shabaranks very much.
Yeah.
And the first you got the Shasha from Shaba.
For 3 letters of Sha. And the last 3 letters of Ranks. NKS.
NKS.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, because when Raga was starting in the 90s, I was at Namiliango College, and my colleagues used to call me Shabaranks. So I thought I should just work out the name and then made my own name out of it.
And what people don't know, most people do not know, is that you were also a dancer before you actually started singing, and the VVD actually also comes from somewhere.
Yeah, from
VVD apparently is an acronym just for very incisive, very interesting and excellent dance.
Exactly.
Dance or dancer?
Dance.
And that's why we have VIVIDED.
Yeah.
The Vivid.
Very incisive, very interesting and excellent dancer.
Wow. That's very interesting. So that's a little bit about this guy. And for me to always get to understand somebody, it has taken me back to so many years about this person. So you were born in Zambia Hospital in March 1973.
Yeah.
So what are some of the most significant things that in your life, in your childhood, now, if you told me or somebody, for me to understand you, what are some of these significant events in your life that for me to understand the man in front of me right now?
Basically, as a child, I grew up in the arts world. I grew up in the sports world. That way, through things I used to engage myself in, like the church choirs, it connected me to people, taught me how to work with different people from different nationalities, and it led to my career being successful through connections, basically.
Wow!
So I learned a lot from working with people through schools, yeah.
And I think that like you said, the choir bit of it and everything has evolved. It gave you the start as a musician and a singer.
Yeah, to gain the skills for both communication and social networking.
Wow.
That's how it helped me.
That's interesting. So, but in your biography, actually, you, especially primary school, you went to about 6 different primary schools.
Yeah.
If you asked a lot of Ugandans and people, they will tell you probably they went to 1 or 2 schools. And normally there is a reason attributed to why someone would move so much when maybe because their parents are doing a job that makes them move. So for you, what was behind these movements and how do you think this has actually impacted your journey?
You said it when parents engaged in businesses that make them transfer from one city to another.
Yeah.
So that's what exactly happened to me when I was younger. That's the reason to why I went to various
about 6
primary schools because my father used to work for Ministry of Finance, Customs and Excise Duty.
Wow.
So they would post him to Malaba, to Boma, to Busia, different borders where there's customs control.
The border points, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was in charge of most of these borders, and then that way it affected my settling in one place.
Especially at a younger age, because now from secondary you didn't move so much.
No.
Because maybe you're now in boarding school by that time.
Yeah. Even in primary school, we were in boarding schools.
Wow.
Then also, that also led me to learning how to live independently.
Yeah.
In far places. Like now I'm in Arua right now.
Yeah.
So
man, your back literally fitting, man. You're fitting perfectly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the kind of thing that led me to go to different schools. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. So let's get a little bit about your career musically and even in radio as well. But we'll get there. So in 1992, we're dating back as old as 1992. Most of us, I was not born. I don't know how many people were born by that time.
Must be kidding.
I wasn't born by that time.
Yeah.
But you joined, your first career began with a Big 5 band.
Yeah.
And then you started being, you were also an MC and a DJ for places like Tropics Mobile Disco, and then Club Power Sessions.
Yeah.
And then in that same moment, you also released your first album, Common Man, all in the same year. So for me to understand who you are in that moment, how would you describe your energy and ambition in those early ages? Because there was so much going on in your life in a very short period of time.
Yeah, it was a new thing that I was getting into as a youth.
Yeah.
At the time, Uganda didn't know about parties. They didn't know about discos. Okay. So everything was new. While we were learning, we were teaching others how to party. Yeah. That's where music events started from. Most of the time, I was busy because I would work as an MC, work as a DJ, performing artist. in bars, in band places, different venues, and parties. So many events were happening.
So one of the things people don't understand, like I was saying earlier, people don't understand about you is that the aspect of radio. Now, I'm a radio presenter myself. I've been doing the business for about 8 years now.
Yeah.
From being a presenter to trafficking to production. I've done so many things. But you became an icon in the radio business, especially with Capital FM. Now, people don't know this. Like maybe locally in Arua here, people do not actually know that you were among the first people to go on Capital FM.
Yeah.
So from 1993, you went to Capital and then you left in 1996.
Yeah.
And then later on, you joined CBS.
Yeah.
CBS, I think, currently is is the biggest Uganda radio station in the whole country this day. You also interestingly went and trained staff at the Voice of Toro in the Toro land.
Yeah.
Now, what was it about radio that actually made you excited to join radio? And what are some of those moments that are amazing from radio business for you?
First, the way I got into radio was I was performing with the Big Five band at Paris. It's a club called Paris in Wandegea. And one of the co-founders of the program director of Capital FM, Mr. Hugh Gales, saw me perform with the Big Five band. Yeah. And he eventually liked me and said they're starting up a Capital FM radio station in Kampala.
They had not even started?
It had not started yet. So he said he needs me to come to the station and audition. So if I pass the audition, I'll get the job.
Get a job.
Yeah. To start Capital FM. So I went and done the auditions, and it was on testing that time. They were testing.
Because man, you had already the microphone before this shouldn't have been a big deal.
No. We knew how to use the microphones, the mixers, and the controls. So when they took me on audition on air, that way I passed the auditions while I was being interviewed while on air. Then I just got the job straight away. We started singing before radio stations came to Uganda.
Oh, wow.
So,
but then how were you getting the music out?
Through clubs. We would go to clubs and play our songs. Like Angenoa, Club Silk. If you talk about the point of saying that this is the moment that I really enjoyed in radio, that's when the radios came, then that way promoters who wanted to promote artists like international stars, they would come to radio stations to mostly Capital, to have Capital sponsor them and then play their commercials. Then they would find me. So through radio, I would get international connections to play international concerts. So that was a big thing.
Wow. So during the time at Capital FM, for example, you most people don't know this. The late Kato Lubwama and Abi Mukiibi. Definitely, I'm going to send this link to Abi Mukiibi. He's going to watch this. So the interesting thing is that when Kato Lubwama was actually younger, he came to you and he wanted to be on radio.
Yeah, as a radio presenter.
And because you're working at Capital, Kato did not speak very good English, so you recommended them, yourself and Mukiibi, you recommend them to join CBS. This was very interesting. So can you tell us about that encounter and how you helped these guys actually to get on that radio?
Okay. Yeah. When the late Honorable Kato Lubwama came to Capital FM at the time, he contacted me. I was a youth, I was younger, and I was working on radio, so he wanted me to connect him to get a job on radio. Then I told him, let me inquire. Then I asked him, what kind of presentation do you want to have on radio? Then he said he wanted to do a Uganda radio program. So this guy said, the owners of Capital FM said, we don't do Uganda at the moment. Unless someone was presenting in English and saying a few Luganda words, it will be okay, but not the Luganda program as a whole. So
because the setting was, English urban
targeted for the English language speaking audience. So that way, I told him if another opportunity comes up, this one is going to be hard on Capital, but if another opportunity comes up, then I'll let you know. Wow. So in 96, then CBS was going to start. And Honorable Peter Sematimba contacted me to be among the team that is going to open it up. So I was on CBS, then Kato came and said, now this is a Uganda station. You promised me the other time that if there's a Uganda station or any opportunity for Uganda program, you'll get me in.
And by then you're a big star now. across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, what exactly do you want to do? He had no idea.
This is you asking Kato Lubwama.
Yeah.
The late, just like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you want to do? So that if I go to speak to the management team or the rest of the crew, I have to tell them exactly who I'm bringing.
Yeah.
So he had no idea of what he was going to do. So I told him, you know what? So you're into drama, because I knew him somehow. Let's do it like BBC. Do mini drama.
Yeah. Like skits, skits.
Yeah, skits.
Yeah.
Then we could try you on a program and see if it works out.
Okay.
So it says, okay, now I have a partner called Mukiibi. So I say, okay, bring him. I've not met him, so bring him. If you can do it together, do it as a comedy thing, radio for comedy, or comedy for radio. Then we can try and get you on one of my Friday night shows, and then we see how it goes. So I told Peter Sematimba about it, and then he said you can have them as guests. Let's audition them tonight. So when they went on air, the show was massive.
Yeah,
the people liked them. So that way they got the deal and started becoming radio presenters with us.
I think this is not part of my questioning to you, but I'm just curious. Of course, Kato Lubwama is now late, but these big names that are coming up. Of course, the next question I have for you is about Steve Jeans. Yeah. Steve Jean is already in the picture. You have Peter Sematimba in the picture. You have Mukiibi. Do you, to this day, do you still keep contact with these guys? Do you have conversation with them, stuff like that? Are you in touch with them?
It's been a while since, because of my traveling back UK and back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's very understandable.
Yeah.
So again, like it's crazy. The guy who's shooting us for right now, Lassen, is actually friends with Steve Jean, and I'm not sure if she knew this guy was actually a singer before. But you didn't know he was a singer. So the guy actually. So tell us about that whole. How did the partnership help, especially boosting the career? Did you help in any way? Because I think the most popular song from it is only Kakokolo.
Yeah.
Only that. What was the impact in your career?
Perfect Generation was a male singing group founded by Dungeon Studios, Peter Sematimba and the Dungeon Studios.
Yes.
And they had their manager as Robert Bashabe or Bob Bashabe. He's left us now.
Yeah. So rest in peace.
Rest in peace, yeah. So they're the guys who founded Perfect Generation, and they had Steve Jean as the producer on board for the label. So that way, Bob Bashabe contacted me to feature on Perfect Generation's song Kakokolo.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was a solo artist and the other one was a group. That's how it came about. Before I was doing my solo work as an individual, but when the idea of urban music grew on the local scene, the industry, the unity that we had with other groups helped promote the agenda and to make the people know that there's other young people who have got talent and it can be developed and they can survive with it. So basically it's kind of showed value when other people got involved into it.
That actually makes a lot of sense. That's like how people benefit from sponsorship these days. Like if you're doing an event and you have a sponsor, it just makes it look like people are coming together, unity, and it's a very big deal.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, social development.
Let's talk about the song. And when I say the song, I'm meaning
Bundu.
Bundu was, I think, Bundu was one of the projects that made everybody to listen to Shanks Vivie'D now. And this was back in 1994. And of course, something interesting is that you actually decided to shoot the video just before lockdown. Almost 31 years later. To this day, we consider one of the biggest jams of this country whatsoever. Many tabloids claim that, for example, Shanks made almost 30 million Uganda shillings by that time from this music. And then he made an additional from the Sanji music. And Sanji was also an album, right?
Yeah.
In 1998.
95. Yeah.
Okay, so some people claimed also at that time you made up to 16 million from there. So I'm not sure if this is true, you'll tell us. But if this is true, making such amount of money in all those years, almost 30 years ago, this was a big deal. It must have come with a lot of pressure, but how was it like breaking out making all this money, shows left and right and stuff like that?
It's business. When it's booming, it's booming.
Yeah.
But what we do when we made that money, we would not do anything but invest it back in the game. Invest it in people to help talents grow here and there.
I understand a little bit of fame. I've had a little bit of my fame, but not to the levels you have. I just need to understand the crazy life of fame of that for you at that particular time.
It can be crazy around you, but you have to keep it normal.
Yeah.
You have to keep it normal and stay on a normal head and then let things happen. Yeah. It was just learning experience of things and how to do the business at the time. Yeah. We were enjoying it.
Wild.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Before we move on, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joshua and this is the Hard Rock Podcast. If you're streaming right now, if you're watching after the stream, thank you so much for coming around here. This is our YouTube channel. All you gotta do is click on the like button, share this video, subscribe to our channel. That is everything we do. That's everything we need, particularly for us to be here every now and then. Moving on, I have here Shanks Vivie'D. So in the late 90s, for example, you shared stage with a lot of big names.
Yeah.
Late 90s, 96, 97, 98, you shared stage with Lucky Dube. You had support for him. Chakademas and Pliers, Yvonne Chakachaka, you even followed her to her South Africa trips for her tours. Yeah. You had Brenda Fassie, the late, even Buju Banton, Maxi Priest. I'm just moving on the names. Wayne Wanda, DeMarco, PJ Powers, Shabaranks, Shaggy, Madilu System. There's so many guys you are literally sharing stage with.
Yeah.
This is so big. Like, not so many artists share stage with these names, like in the modern times.
Yeah.
So what was it like performing along these big legends? And do you feel around the country that your legacy, especially in this international field, do you think it has been probably well recognized, or you think the public just does not understand what Shanks Vivie'D did on international scale?
To be honest, working with the international artists, I learned a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, that we did not even learn anywhere in school.
Yeah.
Performing experience, how bands are played, how crowds are handled, how you handle yourself in big crowds as a performing artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gained a lot of experience working with these people, home and abroad. Even digital media had not arrived in Uganda or even in the world.
Yes. So it's a moment of black and white screen times.
Yeah. We were here before the internet, basically.
Yeah.
So that way, international recognition wasn't an easy thing, because even YouTube just came recently.
Yeah.
In a few years back. So all the things were not there. So that way, for people to know about you, basically it will be by word of mouth.
Yeah.
Or through your cassettes. Yeah. So that way, even promoting the music was hard. So that way, I wouldn't say that I've received the exposure internationally through the media that it deserves to a point. You know.
Because I think back in the days when Lucky Dube is performing, they wouldn't. The camera would only focus Lucky Dube's time, and that's it. You wouldn't find on the internet you can find Lucky Dube concerts of so many years back, but the fact that Shanks was in that concert, you might not necessarily find a video of Shanks because they're particularly looking at Lucky Dube in that moment. And I think that's what, that's what has evolved. Because now, if Favinka, for example, is coming to a Raw very soon, you're going to realize that every artist has a video of themselves. Vinka's video might not even trend as so much as a local artist's video here. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Most likely this video is going to be one of the longest podcast videos I've done, because this, like I've told you, from 1992, this guy has a lot of stories to tell. If possible, we'll split this into two, part 1 and part 2. But moving on, Jose Chameleone. I don't want to be disrespectful to Jose and his efforts has put, but I can tell you guys for a fact, Shanks Vivie'D is the reason Jose Chameleone's music career exists to this day. Jose Chameleone has always been extremely vocal about how instrumental you were in shaping his career, where at some point he was actually a backup singer to you, Shanks. Jose was a backup artist singing behind the scenes for you for so many years, for your local shows and international shows as well. In a recent interview, I think with, I'm not sure which media, Jose Chameleone said that his real turning point in his career came during a show, a concert of Benson and Hedges show at Lugogo, where Kenyan group Kalamashaka was also performing that time as well. Now, during the sound checks, there's this normal sound check, you're also performing that night, that event you're performing in as well. During sound check, you encourage Jose Chameleon to showcase his dance hall skills to the Kalamashaka group. And they were extremely excited and decided to involve and invite Jose Chameleon to Nairobi. And we all know the story of Jose and Nairobi. He moved to Nairobi, he came back to Uganda as a big star, singing Swahili and stuff like that. So this, for me, I think was, again, because Jose went to Nairobi and because you asked Jose to do for these guys a cappella to impress them. Yeah. That's how he ended up in Nairobi. That's how he came back as a big star to Uganda. He literally owes a lot to you for his career. So could you share something that I probably missed and how it was guiding Jose Chameleon? Because even in your bio, you mentioned moving, traveling with him to Nairobi, mentoring your artist. You called him your artist. How was that experience like?
Jose Chameleon was my second artist to be mentored. The first one was the late Menton Summer. Okay. So when we started in 1996, it was, he asked me to help him his career develop. And we went and saw his parents. Wow. We spoke about this with his parents because at the time they were saying young people who are going into music or disco dancers were getting spoiled kids. So I told him, I don't want to be the kid spoiler. You go see your parents, and then if they accept you to get into this business, then...
Did they say yes?
Yeah. It's me who told him.
Was it easy for them? Did they fall back for?
They went back, sat down and thought about it. And then Chameleon took me again, told me, my parents are ready to talk about it. So you want to come to my house and then have a word with my parents. So that way we spoke with his parents and then they allowed him. We got on board. So wherever I would go for shows, solo shows for my shows and my concerts, he would come. I pay him for the work. Then we go for international shows. He's my backup artist. Like this.
For how long did this go on?
For 4 years.
Wow. Jose Chameleon was a backup artist, singer for Shanks for 4 years.
Yeah, he wasn't just a backup artist. He was in school. He was learning.
Wow.
He was learning, yeah.
and now we jump in the 2000s now.
Yeah. So in 2000, I was about to fly to the UK. I had 1999. I had a tour in Rwanda with Yvonne Chaka Chaka and PJ Powers. Yeah. So I called Chameleon to come about, and we went and toured with him. So from Rwanda and Burundi, Chameleon went to Nairobi. So when he got there, he told me he's going to do his album. Then he called me to go help him.
What is it, Mamma Mia? Which one?
No, Bagaya.
Bagaya, okay.
Yeah, his first album.
Yeah.
So that we went and I featured on 2 tracks.
Wow.
On there, Mamma Mia. Then 2000 is when I left for the UK as well. Then I'd let him off now.
In 2000, you left Uganda and then you moved to United Kingdom, UK. Yeah. For career and personal growth. Yeah. Though people claim that, you know what, the guy reached there and he started doing cheyo. That's what a lot of tabloids were writing.
I started 2 radio FM stations here, so if I was wanting money, I would just keep telling them, you raise my salary, I'm not going anywhere, you raise my salary. But I said I was learning, I always wanted to learn new things.
Wow.
I'd not learned about production. I'd not had this formal education about music.
Music, yeah.
And I wanted to pursue
which I think you did by joining the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts.
Yeah.
And
this is a school. This is an institute that is led by Sir Paul McCartney, of the Beatles.
Yeah.
You know the Beatles?
Yeah, I know the Beatles.
Yeah. So Sir Paul McCartney heads.
So you actually ended up joining them, joining the school. Yeah. And you actually won a grant later on, about 2 years later, 2003.
Yeah, that's from Liverpool City Council.
Yeah, from the Liverpool City Council to train young stars in playing African percussion music.
Yeah.
And in that same period of time as well, Jose Chameleone had gone to Nairobi. Baby Cool had, I think, also moved to Nairobi to join Ogopa DJs to try and improve their careers. Bobby Wine was also coming up at that particular time as well.
Yeah.
So, do you feel that the moment you went to that space you gave yourself to go to UK, did it maybe leave you unconnected with your fans? Did you feel left out? How were you feeling at that particular time?
I lost connection with the media, the radio stations. New people were coming in. Different program directors were coming in. So that way I had no contact of people to send my music to.
Wow.
At the time. Wow. Yeah, so I think I missed out a lot on that. But I was releasing music.
Okay.
You know? So eventually I released in 2002, I released my Jaguzo album, which was doing well, both locally in the UK and here. So, but I think I missed that gap I missed a lot of contacts. I missed the touch of people in the media to push my music. And I think I lost...
And the fans kept maybe forgetting you because now these are new guys who are making a lot of noise, excitement.
Yeah, I lost the fan base.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I don't live in a world of regret myself, personally.
Yeah.
Would you probably regret the move? Would you think maybe if you turn back the clock, would you make that move to UK?
I don't normally use the word regret. I don't use regret.
Exactly. I believe.
So I wouldn't say I regret it because everything is with God's plan. If God says at this time you're gonna be in Arua, this time it's gonna be in London, this time it's gonna be in Kampala.
Yeah.
So God decided at that time. Yeah. There's more things that I achieved while I was in the UK for me and for my family. Yeah. So that way I think it was a good thing.
Yeah. So
and then when I left, maybe if I stayed, I would have been dead by now.
Okay, you said that so easily, man.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people from my time, man, they're dead, man.
Oh, man.
Dead. So I think also moving to the UK was one thing that I think I needed to go and
you needed a time out. You needed that time out.
Yeah, I needed a time out and pull back and focus and see what life is like. Yeah.
When I'm in pain, I'll take a bus, I'll take a train, I'll take a plane just to find you where